Alright, I want to put together a quick video tutorial on kind of what you're doing with this graphics project. So I'm starting in your notes here, in your social change project notes. You have a section of your notes where you were tasked with gathering 5 facts or statistics related to your topic. Now, if you took good notes, this becomes a pretty easy job because you'll be doing probably quite a bit of copying and pasting. If you have proper formatting and you punctuated and capitalized and everything, then you're kind of good to go with the text of this piece. But each of these 5 facts will become a standalone graphic over in CC Express. So if my first fact is 1 out of 4 car accidents in the United States is caused by texting and driving, I go to CC Express, I go in and look for, what's going to be my background. Am I using a photo? Am I doing whatever? And then you're thinking about, okay, this is a graphic about car accidents, 1 out of 4 car accidents. So maybe you go looking for, car accidents. Maybe narrow it down to texting and driving, and maybe you find a nice image that you want to use for a engaging background. And again, I'm not looking to disgust people and show this horrible, nasty wreck. I'm kind of just, trying to point out the fact of maybe texting and driving being the real danger here. So maybe this is a good piece to use, perhaps. I'll go ahead and add that to my photos. So then back to CC Express, I'm now uploading a photo from my library. I've got this piece here. So I can go ahead and add that into my CC Express and then think about how the rest of my piece comes together. The size that works best for these is going to be the slide size once again, so way off to the right side. This slots into the website really well. So we'll click done here. Now, I don't want my photo necessarily to be the focal point of my piece, so maybe I'd put a grayscale on it, or maybe I'd put a blur effect on it or something like that to kind of bring attention more to the forefront of my piece, which is going to be my fact itself. So maybe keep it color, but maybe I'll blur a little bit more here just to kind of show that your vision gets hazy when you're texting or something like that. And I'm going to keep it off to the side. Double tap to add text. Like I said, maybe you took good notes and you can just copy and paste in from your notes the fact itself. I'm going to hit that style spinner and see if I can find something good to use for the format of my font here. So maybe, I don't know, something that's, maybe this is close, and then maybe I go back and add a little effect on it, create a drop shadow on it to help it pop a little bit more, make the distance of that shadow a little bit wider so that it really makes the text pop off the screen. And then if I shrink it and maybe put it off to the side here, maybe that would help us with the readability of it. Okay. Another thing to consider is, since my statistic is 1 out of 4, what if I could find like a neat icon? Perhaps I get lucky with this statistic, and if it's 1 out of 4, maybe what if I put in 1/4? I wonder if I find something like that. 25%. I feel like I've gotten lucky a couple times with, well, this is all Christmas stuff. 1 out of 4, something like this isn't far off. This is 2/8, and if you know your equivalent fractions, that's about what I'm going for. So if you find some little graphic that kind of makes sense in the context of the statistic, hey, great. So then that's a strong visual that I want to highlight. The fact does the talking, and then the graphic brings in people's eyes just kind of naturally to the piece that I'm really interested in them seeing, which is reading this fact. Does a whole lot more than just throwing a text box down on our website, that's for sure. So then I'm going to go ahead and export, save this image. Boom, I've got one done. Now, if I go back to my notes here, my next fact is texting while driving is 6 times more likely to cause an accident than driving drunk. There we go. So I'm going to copy that text because I've capitalized and punctuated my sentence. So from here you could go back to the drawing board, and since this is a statistic about driving drunk, I think actually I have an image on my iPad already, I believe, of like a liquor cabinet or a bunch of bottles of liquor. So I was going to use that as my background image. Now you could back out and restart and start from scratch, but if you want to create, like, let's say, a set of graphics that have a unified font across them, or maybe you want to use the same color scheme in all your graphics, which helps them all look like they're part of a unified piece. And if you're out in the world creating a real website for someone, they would probably want something like that, where you're not just reinventing the wheel every single time you make a graphic. So I could hit back and do all that if I wanted to start over, but what if instead I worked kind of in reverse here, and if I go back to my background image by tapping it, I can go into edit and I could say replace this photo with, again, something from my photo library or whatever. And yeah, here's some liquor bottles I had found off of Google. And again, that's a bit much for a background. I can barely read the text. So I'd either want to tap that background image and maybe adjust the look of it. Maybe a darkening effect would help. Maybe blurring it again a touch would kind of create the illusion of what I'm going for here. So now what's great is I can just drop in some new text here, and it's going to be the same font, same colors, kind of same scheme. Grab a new icon here. And maybe I move this one to the right just to create a little bit of different look. And if I go to add, maybe an icon that would work for this would be, since it's like driving while drunk, maybe I find like a beer bottle or something like that. Because I want to kind of hammer home the fact that we all know drunk driving is a terrible decision, and yet, everyone's out there with a cell phone, beer bottle, or I'm not going to get too picky here, but search liquor or something like that. So I don't know. I'll go ahead and add this one. So again, that kind of matches my color scheme of my other piece. I can just export, save image. It's got the same font. It's going to look real nice in an arrangement later on my website, kind of using a unified look and feel. So if I go to answering it, my third one, all right, answering a text takes your attention away for about 5 seconds. It's like driving the length of a football field. Scary thought. So again, you could go back to the drawing board, reinvent the wheel, blah, 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 whatever analogy you want, start over. Or, again, what if we replaced the image with, I feel like, again, that last quarter, I think I got a picture of a football field. Let's see if I still have that. But then it would be, back to Google, picture of a football field. And since that's kind of my graphic, field, I would go looking for some kind of engaging piece, maybe like this. Grab that, save, add to photos. And then I got a football field, and then I can use that, and I've already got my blur effect applied, and I've got my font still here, and I can just drop in this text, and maybe just to create a little visual difference, perhaps, maybe this is all up top here, and then, so if the main stats in here are 5 seconds, what if I get lucky perhaps and find an icon that represents, boy, I'd be real lucky if I got like 5 seconds. Maybe. That could kind of work. Or maybe just in general, like a stopwatch, I think would be an effective visual stopwatch. 5 seconds. Yeah, maybe like this one is close enough to 5. Actually, you know what? I think that's 5 seconds, wouldn't it be? So let's do that. 5 seconds. Length of a football field at 55 miles per hour. What if I got lucky with that? There's so many icons, it's worth the search, honestly. 55 miles per hour. Or like a speed limit sign, maybe. Anyway, those are just some thoughts I wanted to share so you can work smarter, not harder. And I mean, I don't know how long this video ends up being, but in a couple minutes here I was able to create 3 images already. They have a unified look to them. If I go to my photos here, this will look real nice on my website when I can, where the heck is my stuff? Isn't it at the bottom here? So if I can kind of have this unified set of graphics, they have the same fonts, they have kind of the same scheme with my graphics and things like that. That's going to look real nice by the time I get around to putting these on the website. So you're submitting 5 to me. You need a set of all 5 saved to your iPad, not screenshots exported out of the app. By Friday. When you're done with that, you can head to code.org.